So then you can you can give a lesson to David and Lara both,
Okay.
and I'll put it into the YouTube also. There is a royal secret. We say it is a royal secret. And the royal secret, it is the highest secret. And even if it is a royal secret and the highest secret, it is an open secret. Question is, are we ready? Krishna says in Gita that if I am ready, I can see it. I can live into it. Why? It is an open secret. So we go step by step, understanding intellectually, so that what we are doing on Mondays and Thursdays will become clear to you. So, what happens when we say it is the highest secret, it is still the open secret? Where lies the problem that we don't reveal that secret in our life? So, that secret in life, because we lose the tuning with the nature, we lose the tuning with our real self. Why we lose that tuning? Because of ignorance. Because of ignorance. That is how we cannot see, we cannot reveal the highest secret in our life. Because our assessment towards the life is based on wrong notions. The moment these wrong notions are removed, we enter into that state of permanent peace and life. Second thing, ask yourself, do I want to rule my life or the life should rule me? Life as such is unconscious operation of the nature. Should we rule the life? The moment the intellect starts thinking I have to rule my life, then we start understanding that unconscious operation of the nature. We are going to understand these words clearly. So we started with it is a royal secret, it is the highest secret, it is an open secret. So the what is the middle level of secret? If it is highest, what is higher and what is the lower? The lower level of the truth is the physical world, the way we live and work in the physical world with unconscious operation of the nature on us. We have some suffering, some pleasure, again suffering, again pain and pleasure, repeated. It is constantly repeating itself. Second is the mental world. You know, we say that it hurts more mentally than physically. We always talk. So it's a mental world, and the highest truth is beyond the body and the mind. That is what we always talk of meditation. Meditation, mindfulness is transcending the mind. Having that simple introduction, now what is very important? I know it. I have a knowledge, and still I do not change my life. Many people say me every day. No, I have understood. I have one student from Europe. She has an interesting problem. So she is a teacher. and she lives just at the border of her school where she teaches. And 6 months before, the school opened a football ground there. And these kids start playing the football, making a tremendous noise, and she caught up with that noise. Now she's in deep anxiety and depression because of that noise. She says, I cannot change my house. I cannot leave the school because of the problem due to coronavirus. And she is a teacher. She says, I understand. She says, I understand, but I'm not able to change myself. So we are going slowly. Now we have to go move slowly, step by step. So what is that? I cannot change myself. I had just her session before you. Why the knowledge is not able to change me? So if we understand that why I have the right knowledge, I understand it, and still I don't change it myself. So there are three defects in the mind. First defect. What is the first defect? Lack of right knowledge. I know, I understand it, but I don't change. It means I lack something somewhere. What is that right knowledge? It is not clicking in me. So, knowledge of the reality is not clicking in me, hence, that becomes a defect in the mind. So, I go on blaming and complaining the world. These kids made my life worse. What the kids has to do with it? Your doors are closed. No, I listen to their noise. And she is totally obsessed with that noise. Today, every week I ask, how are you doing? I'm still struggling. Are the boys making a noise intentionally? For you, are the boys making a noise intentionally in that football ground for you only? It's a deliberate attempt to disturb you. I know, I understand it. So, if we revisit the knowledge again and again, and try to find out, that is what we covered last week. Contemplation, reflection is required. The moment the mind says, I know it, I understand, but still I do not change, lack of knowledge is the first defect. First defect. Second defect, I have a doubt about this knowledge. So, what is the doubt in Eastern wisdom? We say the doubt means the knowledge is sleeping. Whenever I have a problem, I know I should be very calm and quiet, but the moment I have a disliking for anyone, that calmness goes away. Because I doubt. I doubt the knowledge that my essential nature is calmness and peace. So the master says, so I have to repeat those principles again and again in my head. I have to think over it. We are coming. And third effect, I don't know the highest knowledge. What it means by transcending the mind. What happens in that state when the mind is living in transcendence? What happens? So these are the three defects, and these three defects multiplies and becomes more than 50 different challenges in our life. So our expression, I didn't say anything to you, why you are reacting to me? Doubt, lust, fear, anxiety, reaction, duality, conflict, host of all the problems because of the three defects. So that is where we created a foundation in today's talk. For what? To understand what is life. Normal understanding. What is life? We say life is in between birth and the death. I don't know anything before the birth. I will not know anything after the death. That is what we say life. So there is some missing link. I don't know why the life is created, why the label is given to me as a with a gender, with a name, with a relationship. I don't know. And I'm still living. Go a little deeper. Life between birth and the death. Do I have a choice of my birth and death? No. Do I have a choice for my parents, family, country? No. Do I have a choice for being born with wealthy parents or parents with no money? Do I have a choice to be born with the parents who are wise and they have started guiding me since my birth? I don't have choice. No choice for gender, no choice for lifespan. Now ask yourself, who knows all this? I know it, but who in me knows all this? That I don't have a choice. I know the life is between birth and the death. The life is, I don't have a choice for my parents, for my conditions in the family of the parents, or gender, or lifespan. Who knows all this in me? From there, the real journey, I have to think of it. Who knows all this in me? It is the human intellect. Huh? I see that. I am able to observe the lives of others, my own life. I don't know. I was not aware of myself even when I was born. That awareness came much later. See that? So as I grow older, I know it is my human intellect. Eastern wisdom says we have 8.4 million species on the Earth planet. Human race is one of them. Only the human race has intellect. It can think, it can plan, it can organize. People have, no, many animals have intelligence, but they don't have intellect. Who can think? By thinking, he gets the knowledge, and then he compares the right knowledge with the wrong, lower knowledge with the higher, and he can make a right choice. So now see the choice one made by the intellect, human intellect. What is that in? Let me live my life as it comes. Let me suffer, have pain, then pleasure, then duality, then conflict, as if I'm being governed and dictated by the unconscious operation of the nature. I'll clarify that. Second choice is that I separate what is dictating and governing me. Can I do better? Can I do better? My human intellect thinks. And it separates from what is governing and dictating me. Let me separate myself. Let me improve myself. Third choice. Third choice that I do nothing and I continue to go down. There are many people around you, around me, in the family, or outside, What happened? I had lot of pain. What you did, I did nothing. No, you should take care of the health. It's very important. No, I think I'm destined to have a pain. I go down. That is how we think. Why the hell I was born in your family? We start blaming our parents, complaining and reacting. I don't have anything. I have a human intellect. We don't think about it. So now understand we are hypnotized by the knowledge coming from the science with one principle. What is the goal of the science? To know the unconscious operation of the nature, how the natural phenomena works, how the body works, how the mind works, what is the mechanism, what is the method, what is the process. So body and the mind is working like a machine, science says, and let us win over this machine. For the last 250 years, the science is trying to win over the disease. It has created more diseases. 200 years ago, we know hardly maybe 5 or 6 mental abnormalities. I studied abnormal psychology. They listed more than 3,000 mental diseases. Why it is happening? I Science wants to win over the nature, win over the unconscious operation of the nature with reference to my body. What that means? Can I stop aging process? They are trying very hard. But it is so natural. I can delay the process. But forget about, can you stop the aging process? The answer is no. Can you stop disease forever? The answer is no. The health and disease are dynamic conditions of the body. The body is not going to listen to you. This is what is the unconscious operation of the nature. So the science has always to struggle. They say by 2021 they will get a vaccine for coronavirus. They are still struggling. They want to win over. They don't want to have a tuning with the nature. No. That idea, that knowledge is lost. With reference to the intellect we are understanding. So now see that animals are programmed and governed and dictated by the unconscious operation of the nature. The goal of the Eastern wisdom is to bring all the unconscious operation at the conscious level so that I can manage, I can organize. What I have to drop, I will drop it. What I have to dissolve, I have to dissolve it. What I have to destroy in my life, I will destroy so that I can live in permanent peace and happiness. One great master says, yoga is nothing but bringing all the unconscious operation of the nature at the conscious level. Why at the conscious level? So human intellect is refined. It knows the subtleties of the life and its different element, and it can start working. Now, see the other point that is also very interesting. Look at the horse babies. They are born. Baby stands up, sits, run after the mother, and starts milking, starts drinking the milk. What about us? If the mother doesn't feed us, forget about it, we are going to die. See the weakest point in the human birth, see the strongest point in the animals. So that strongest point in the animals is pre-programmed. They don't have any intellect to think. They have intelligence. And that intelligence is pre-programmed. It is heavily conditioned. It is heavily conditioned. So, why we have the weakest at the time of the birth? Because the unconscious operation of the nature wants us to use that awareness and the intellect. So, my mom uses the intellect for me, and gradually I grow up. My intellect is heavily conditioned by the society, by the culture, by the people, by the school, and I lose the free development of that intellect, which I say, Manisha, on the Saturday session. Because I lose it, I have to suffer. Sometimes I consider whatever is the unconscious operation of the nature is in my intellect. Intellect is dictated by it. Why the hell you are angry over me? I did nothing. I am right. I stick to it. I become egoistic. I react. All these are unconscious operation of the nature. The human intellect need to think, to have a right knowledge. So when I have a right knowledge, I know how to leave and drop the unconscious operation of the nature. The moment I leave the unconscious operation of the nature, I get a glimpse of that royal secret, that highest secret, how to transcend the body and the mind to enter into the highest state of consciousness. So we started our journey with the life between birth and death. We don't have a choice. Now I start asking the questions. My mind start asking the questions. It means who knows this? It is the human intellect. Only the human intellect can compare birth and the death and the life living and the different conditions. And then we come down if this human intellect is dictated by our unconscious operation of the nature, then I cannot bring an end to my suffering. I cannot discover what is the ultimate state. So now this human intellect has four big questions to answer. What are those four big questions to answer? Who am I? Why? Because I claim I became angry because I am right. Is my nature anger? Is my nature reaction? Is my nature duality? Is my nature conflict within me? If it is not, so let me find out who am I. So when I know clearly what is my nature, that knowledge is living in me as an experience, I know what needs to be done. I have a choice then. Clarity of the choice. So that is the first big question. I must know who am I. Second question, what is this world and the nature of the world outside? Is the world dictating on me or I am taking over the world? If possible, then how I should take over the world? Of events, of places, of people, of circumstances, of conditions, so that I am not influenced and dictated by any of them. I should earn that. I should live into that state. So I should know the nature of the world and the functioning. And then what is the existence? What is the ultimate existence after all? So once I have answer of these three questions, there is no doubt about it. There are no defects in my intellect. Then I know how to live and work at any given situation in life in permanent peace and happiness, love and wisdom. You see, we started the journey with a royal secret, then it's an open secret. It is available here and now. It is available here and now. So when those three defects are removed, I have understood That unconscious operation of the nature creates the limitations in my intellect and the mind. I limit myself. Because I limit myself as an individual, there comes the craving, blaming, complaining reaction. If I know my nature is limitless, it is of the nature of the pure consciousness, then there is no question of any challenges, any pain and pleasure and suffering in my life. So now we have understood we have to answer 4 questions. To answer 4 questions at a particular stage in my life, what I need? I need the right knowledge. With that right knowledge, I need a right desire. With that right desire, I need a right action. Eastern wisdom never says get rid of the desire. It says get rid of the binding desire. That is why it specifically says right desire. I go on eating pasta one day, second day, now I have a craving for the pasta. That is wrong desire. Eating pasta is a right desire. Same thing, it applies to, that pleasure becomes lust. That is a problem. Eating becomes a binge eating. That is a wrong desire. So I don't have a right knowledge. So everything in the same, I stick to in my relationship. No, this is what I am, and I will live my life like this. So that is a problem. So the 3 things: right knowledge, right desire, right action. Now we have come down to 3 points: right desire, right knowledge, right desire, right action. That will make my life in permanent peace, in happiness, in love, and in wisdom. Yeah, I'm summarizing. That's what I thought I should summarize so that you'll have a clear understanding. So now we have the human intellect says, I should have a right knowledge, I should have a right desire, I should have a right action. Action, it is thought, speech, and action. Even if I think mentally, that is a mental action. If I speak out, it is also a mental action. If I perform any activity physically, it becomes a physical action. But I should have a right desire that is unbinding desire. It is not a binding desire. So, from where the unbinding desire comes? From the right knowledge. Clear. Now, before we go into this, we have to see what are the instruments that I use to fulfill my desire. I should have a clarity about each instrument. So when I have a clarity and understanding about each instrument, then I know car is meant for driving. Phone is for listening, or now it has started other applications, taking a picture, video, and etc. I have a clarity. So I must be aware of the limitations and the freedom associated with these instruments so that I can fulfill my desire by performing an action with the right knowledge. You see how logically these masters have thought about it. So now look at the instruments. Where is the first instrument? First instrument is my physical body. What is the characteristics of this physical body? Now we want to understand so that we know its limitations, we know its freedom, so that I can use this instrument whenever I require according to their limitation and according to its freedom. So what are the limitations and how do we understand this physical? Physical body has a birth, it has an old age, it goes to death, and it lives in waking state. Do I know my body in dreaming state? No. Do I know my body in sleeping state? No. So four elements: waking state, birth, death, old age. You see that when somebody grows gray beard, huh? People say that, he has become a man of wisdom. Growing old, mind has an upward movement. Possibly, if we use the mind and intellect properly, then we become a man of wisdom. Otherwise, we remain the same. The choice for the mind. But what about the body? We are talking about this body when it goes into as it starts growing, it becomes old. As it grows, it has a downward turn. Nobody can deny this. See that? So, do I recognize the limitation of the body? First instrument, outermost instrument. What choice we have with the physical body? Do you have a choice of birth, death, old age? No, we don't have a choice. We have a choice of in the waking state to know the body. Yes. So what should we do with the body? We should repair, maintain, regulate the body by regular care. How? So our East masters of the Eastern wisdom says the most beautiful part of working on the body is to sensitize the body, to awaken to the body or the physical consciousness. There are different ways. We are not going there, but just to give you a brief understanding. So, sensitization, infusing the consciousness in the body becomes the goal. Not showing that, I'm not aging. Look at my son who is 30 years old, and still I am posing that I'm not aging. So we have to be very, very careful. It doesn't mean we should take care of the body, but we should not be craving and obsessed with this idea that one day the science will win over the body and it will stop the aging process. It is not possible. It can delay, it can postpone from 20 to maybe another 10 years. We can we can do the surgery of the physical body. The more we do it, we are disturbing that it cannot tune with the nature. It cannot tune with the nature. So the first instrument is physical body. What choice we have, I should be aware. What choice I don't have, I should be aware. And we can regulate the physical body easily. We know what needs to be done. We know what needs to be done. Why we are talking about this? We have the right knowledge, the right desire, and the right action at a particular stage in my life. Desires changes from age to age. That is what we covered in the last talk, last practice. Now the second instrument is energy. Same thing happens with energy. As we start growing up in the youth, we have a tremendous energy without wisdom. So there is always a chance of abusing that energy. Our parents were more concerned about us when we were young. So as a parent, we were also concerned about when our kids are passing through that young age. They don't have the experience. So unconscious operation of the nature is continuing. That sensuality and craving, instant craving, and they have more energy. So craving becomes stronger. They can easily go for drug substance abuse, which is very easy for them. So, how to cultivate? That's the second issue. So, now see, as we grow older, that level of energy goes down to do the physical activity. But the level, that energy can be utilized for the journey of higher journey. That is the second instrument. It is either you say pranamaya body. When you regulate this energy, your sense perception also changes. Because every sense organ has a content of the prana. The moment I say, what a beauty, and then my mind has a craving, it is because of the prana. My mind has a passion, it is because of the prana. My mind has a dispassion, it is because of the prana. Second instrument. We are talking the second instrument. So regulating that energy with the right knowledge will help us. It does not mean what energy we have in the young age, we will continue to have the same energy even at the age of 80 years. In New Jersey, I met a great scholar who has written about 7 or 8 books, and he had a direct access to Obama when he was president. What was his problem? I'm not telling you the name, so he is no more. So even, but he has written very famous books on democracy, how the democracy works, and these books like from the New York bestsellers. Almost, I was at that time, 65, 70, 65. His first question to me when I met him first, when I was 35 to 40 years old, I had tremendous energy. I could sleep better. I was doing my work better. Why can't I do now? I have no problem. He has no problem. But he has no problem means that he is already having a tremendous anxiety. He is not understanding the limitations of the first instrument, the body. He is not understanding the limitations of the second instrument, that is energy. I may take 100 pills for the energy, it will become temporary. It is not going to give me that energy which I have in 20 years of age. We are understanding these different instruments so that we can use it at a different stage in life to excel in life, to be in peace, to be in harmony, to be in wisdom, to be in love. That is why we are understanding the limitations and the freedom of this. So this energy has a downward turn. When I have a craving, when I blame, when I complain, when I react, and when I'm constantly bedridden, totally become inactive, I'm not active. So these are the downward turn. Now, upward turn, that energy is looking for something greater. I have already experienced different pleasures in my life. Say, for example, 30 years and 40 years. Can I go for something higher? So, what is higher? Where is the higher? That starts lifting the prana. So, the prana has an upward turn, prana has a downward turn. Body cannot have an upward turn. You see that, do whatever you want to do. We can take some steroid every day, but how long you're going to take steroid? For 6 and 7 years, almost for 6 years, I guided this guy. And he said, when you come and I feel very calm and relaxed, and again the same question comes. Go back, 3 defects of the knowledge. Understand that 3 defects of the knowledge. I have a doubt. I don't want to understand that why this body is working like this and what happened after. Now, when I met him, he had, his limbs was trembling, started trembling. And I have reasons to believe because of the tremendous anxiety and obsession with the body, with the unconscious operation of the nature, he developed Parkinson's disease. So he developed Parkinson, he had IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, he had anxiety, and he had the cervical pain that was acute. Now, today you take care of my IBS. Now, today you take care of my. What is this? Because I don't recognize the limitations and the freedom of these instruments and how to take the work efficiently with these instruments is what is defined as the four stages of life. In a young age, when you are 20s, you can abuse the body. It can tolerate. It can tolerate. But I have to learn from it. I'm abusing it. Now let me stop abusing it. Let me show this body the right path. Otherwise, it will create a lot of challenges in my old age that I don't want to understand. See that? So, right knowledge, right desire, right action. I am 70-year-old and I have the same desires which the 20-year-old has. So I'm abusing. So simple, I'm abusing it. I'm misusing the body. And it has its own problem. It has its own challenges. Prana, second instrument. The third instrument is mind. Mind thinks. Is the mind thinking with a wrong notion or right notion? Is the mind thinking straight in a right manner to find the solution? Is the mind working on the likes and dislikes, pain and the pleasure, blame and the complaint, or these blame and complain, likes and dislikes is working on the mind? If they are working on the mind, that is what the animal mind is. That is what the unconscious operation of the nature is. So I have to refine this instrument of the mind. So why mind that is going up, mind that is going down, mind that is moving horizontally. So we use the three words, it's a beautiful word. Prakriti, Sanskriti, Vikrati. Prakriti means the unconscious operation of the nature. I don't do anything with the mind. So, what the mind offers me: eat, drink, be merry. That's all. Little power, pleasure, possession. I continue. Have you seen a lot of people moving in a horizontally line? 9 to 5 work, more three, three, three jobs, totally exhausted. Exhausted, they find it is the best way to get exhausted to go into sleep. That builds up more fatigueness. You don't relax before you go to sleep. See that? See the attitude of the mind affecting the body and affecting my energy level. No, I have a lot of responsibilities. I have seen a lot of people. I have seen one people in the Indian store who is the owner. Recently, they have opened a store in where? In Chandler. It's known as Patel, where Prerna was also working for a few months. The owner was almost 80 years old. He was picking up the cart throughout the summer at the age of the 80. Not concerned, horizontal movement. He got a heart stroke, he died. I see in a different perspective. I see the world in a different way. I see the people, the environment, the things, and I link it instantly. What is the use? You have such a huge store. Let your kids work. Let you relax. Tell them, I need minimum. If you give me, it's okay. But no. So, in every life stage, we should have a right desire to use the body and the mind. I have seen a lot of people here in India. Anyhow, that guy ultimately he died in New Jersey. And his wife called me, this is what happened. But even at the point of the death, he was saying, when I was 40, I had tremendous energy. Why don't I have now? You get obsessed with it. Right knowledge, right desire, right action. Where is my age? What is the limitations of the body? How far I can go with the body? My Sid's brother-in-law also lives with us. So when we bring, this rice, maybe 30 and 40 pounds of the rice, I don't lift it. Body is not prepared for it at this age. Or I will find other ways to carry that. But no, I should be. It doesn't mean that I'm scared of the death. That's totally different. So the third instrument is the mind has to be. Mind can move horizontally. That is known as the prakriti, unconscious operation of the nature. The second is the mind is abused. That is known as vikrati. Now I can do anything. I can do everything with the body. No, you cannot do it. I have to recognize the limitation. So when I start doing it, I abuse the body, I fall down below the unconscious of operation of the nature. Remember, when my working with the intellect and the mind that falls below the unconscious operation of the nature, the death is coming easily. I can lose the body. Now, the third one, I help the body to rise by infusing the consciousness, to remain at a deeper state of calmness and relaxation. As I grow older, I keep it fit with the food and other stuff. And I see this body as an instrument which is going to help me to transcend itself. Understand what is moving up with the third, through the mind to the body. When we have no problem in the body, no issue, no pain, no. We don't even remember head. We don't even remember our limbs. We remember the body whenever we have headache. Then I remember head throughout the day. I had some, pain and some rashes on the left side. So mind was remembering 24/7. No, don't raise your hand. Don't put like this. Do like this. Unconscious operation was happening. So, at a moment when the mind does not think at all with our body, have we not transcended the body? We have transcended the body. We are aware of the body, but we work through the body with a tremendous energy, with a clarity, and still I feel no, I am not at all the body. Now apply the same thing with the mind. The mind has to be cultured, cultivated to that extent where I feel mind or no mind, it's okay. I have transcended the mind. That is the real journey. So we have to use this mind as an instrument like this. So this is the third instrument. The fourth instrument is intellect and ego. My master used to say, like a ripe mango or unripe mango. So you have a ripe ego and you have unripe ego. The unripe ego interferes in everybody's affairs, always blames and complains, always likes to fight, always tries to have the opposite view. And the ripe ego is very kind, happy, relaxed, watches. When someone doesn't agree, he says, you are good, continue. He takes his hands out. So that ego is trained by the intellect. If this intellect does not have the right knowledge that this is what the meditation is, this is what the real nature is, and without any doubt, we cannot process, we cannot progress. So intellect also has an ability to up for upward movement. You see that body does not. As the body grows older, we have a downward movement. It is aging. It has a lot of challenges. I used to, we used to, you can be jogging at age of 20, maybe 10 miles. Now you cannot even walk 5 or 10 steps. So its body has a downward movement. Energy, we have a choice. We have a choice whether I'll keep it at the optimum level in the and gaining. You have seen a lot of people working in the malls and the stores. I work 3 jobs, and then I'm happy. Why I'm happy? Because I get still money by which maintain my thinking more of something else. So we don't is the fourth instance is the problem. Fifth instance nature nature that is working in my life time. I'm not able to channel that. That I have conscious habitual conscious set. I for it, so my is a thought pattern. Let me buy so that I can fulfill passion. It works now. Continue works habit. I don't will record it. Did you return it? Yes. Yes. Well, years we have understood the five instruments that we get divided into 4 stages. Which is a particular stage and a particular stage. The first is to even 6 years old. Initiate a process known as it with you, they say, knowledge is needs the the master used to knowledge in mantra. They
Hello. I don't know. You're gone. I'm still connected on it. It was fine. It was fine for the first 90% of it, but then all of a sudden it started coming in and out. Okay. Do you want to just, how do you want to just finish recording it and then I'll just finish listening to it that way, or how do you want to do it? Or, oh, you're here now.
am if I read 5 minutes, yeah, understand the first is higher follies and to professional and how much stays of have better higher lower experience of only professional used for higher what is that secret concepts be very clear how we I start thinking action